Oh, yeah.
You know? Oh, wow. That wasn't even like a female Owen Wilson. That was Owen Wilson.
What's that mean?
Whoa.
And there goes that ass.
Just for you, Coleman.
Oh, my God. I had to stop it right there. It looks so good in that super suit. Now you can go out there. It's easier to make content. It's easier to get that content seen. It's easier to monetize that and get paid and spend your money on dtmerch.com, where you can go and get a shirt.
I was waiting for it. I want to see it happen live and in person. You didn't think he would be that cheap?
I am cheap. I am low. I am scum. And that's okay as long as you go over there and buy a shirt, buy a beanie, buy a backpack, buy a phone cover. And you know something? You can even go over to doubletoasted.com and try us 7 days for free, 7 days of streaming, joining us here on these shows, having some fun, listen to the audio that we have. And I don't know, by the end of it, they might be like, man, I can't take this anymore. But when you do come back, there's many ways to subscribe. You can do so by, well, probably the easiest way, using your Amazon account. Just play an account, using it without playing on Amazon Pay button. Put your username, put your password in there, press enter, send, hit the button. Ooh, shit. Mar, what's happening to me? I feel real good, Mr. Thomas.
That tingle?
It's that tingle. Ooh, it's that toasted goodness all
over
my body, Martin. Can you feel it, Martin? Martin feels it so good he can't even move right now. Look at him. Just got them chuckles going on. Yeah. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead. Just in case y'all are tuning in, I'm hard for two things: caffeine and cocaine. No, caffeine.
No, not caffeine.
The Incredibles and cocaine. No, I'm high off the return of The Incredibles 2. Now, I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just kind of excited that it's here because, as I said, Martin and I, we sit around for years and we thought that this day, we thought we would never live to see this day in Incredibles Part 2. And the reason why is because everyone was scared that master animator Brad Bird got a taste of that live action life. You know, he big Hollywood now. He's hanging out with Tom Cruise doing the Mission Impossible, the Ghost Protocol. He's going to all kind of Hollywood parties. He's out there living it up. Said, I can't wait to make my next live action feature and set this world on fire again. And he went ahead and made his next live action feature.
What you saw was a place where the best and the brightest people in the world came together to actually change it.
Oh, trash.
Trash. Yeah. Tomorrowland came out. And you know, when he came out, he said, man, I ain't fucking with these tunes no more.
Fuck you, Disney.
Hell
Wait a second.
I'm out there with Tom Cruise. I got the great George Clooney in another movie based on a Disney World theme park. Oh, I'm living.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Money, box office bombing. And then he said, you know, let me take my ass back to Toontown.
Everything worked out for me there.
Yeah. Hello, Roger Rabbit.
Oh, come on, you know me.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Come on. It's me, Brad. Who? Yeah, man. You know, now, not that I wish anything bad on anyone, but I will say this. Thank God this movie bombed. Not because I want people to suffer, not because I want people's careers to go bad, but I feel like this film's failure might be our success. You know, this push, I'd like to think that this pushed Brad Bird back into the animation, which brings us to The Incredibles 2. Now, the whole thing about that is that, yes, we have The Incredibles 2. It is here. But could that also be a failure too? I mean, everybody has high hopes for it. We don't want it to fail. But as we all know, there's a little thing called sequelitis out there, or something that Martin and I like to call rushing shit out. Which, come on.
I mean, after 14 years, it's hard to say they rushed it.
Yeah. You know, okay, let me just change this. You know, Disney likes to pimp them hoes out. You know,
Yes,
it's like,
they do.
hey, because they look around the room, who has not sold ass in a long
Dory, what you doing over there?
Bell, no, come over here.
What? No.
Mr. Incredible trying to tiptoe out. Hey, boy, come in.
Thought we were square, Daddy.
And bring the baby with you. Yeah, man, 14 years it's been since we've had an Incredibles movie. And that's the thing about Disney. It doesn't matter. You can say they took their time, but it just might be this movie's turn just to get turned out, you know. Disney just wants to make a profit. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer. Say no one loves Incredibles more than myself and Martin. Are you in on this, good?
No.
Okay, he don't like it as much.
No, I love The Incredibles. I just ain't seen it.
You just, okay, then,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we're going to either make you very happy or hurt your feelings.
Oh, no.
Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for Incredibles 2, and then we will come back and tell you whether or not it is worth the wait.
I'll be there ASAP.
Where you going ASAP? You better be back ASAP.
He's like, bitch, leave me alone.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. What you say? Nothing. I was talking to the cat.
That's a mad cartoon nigga.
Does Elastigirl still have the yeeks?
Oh, she does, man.
Okay.
What's the yeeks?
That was my question.
Okay. Oh, the cheeks.
Yes.
Oh, the cheeks.
Good.
Oh, so you have a thing about that too?
I have a major thing about Elastigirl, man.
Yeah.
Oh, hell,
yeah.
Look, let me just.
It's real.
I'm glad I'm not the only pervert here.
No,
That makes me very
man.
happy.
I was distracted throughout this entire movie.
Oh, my sweet Jesus.
I kept thinking at myself too. I was like, good Lord.
Yeah, man.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, even when she's all deformed and everything, it's still fine as hell. When she's like stretching herself in freakish kind of ways and everything, it's still kind of like, I'm looking at this right here and I'm like, damn, even that's kind of hot. You know?
But that new suit she's got, it is unreal. I was just the whole time going, I know this is a cartoon, but she is sexy as fuck. I don't even know what's going on here. I'm just having focus on her.
I will say this. Everybody been wanting to know, is this as good or is it better than the first film? And my answer, now I can't speak for Martin, but my answer is no, it's not. No, let's just get, cut the anticipation right here. Let's get to it. The first one is such a landmark film. The first one just broke so much ground, just as a superhero movie, not even as a cartoon superhero movie, or as an animated film. It's it broke ground as a
superhero movie.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah. I mean, before all these superhero movies got good into this new evolution that they've hit, the first movie was already there.
Yeah,
it wrote the blueprint on. Okay, this is how you do this.
I like the way Disney just looked at Fox and they said, we did the Fantastic Four. Why do y'all keep fucking this up?
Right. Yeah, it's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
Just copy us. Look, we won't even say anything.
We're like, we giving it to you. We ain't gonna sue you. We kind of ripped y'all off, but it's not that hard. The first one just broke so much ground that it's really hard to top that. And one of the things that this one that it can't top itself on is, first of all, one of the most important things for a superhero movie. Now, y'all think Marvel got a superhero problem. The screenslaver in this, he ain't shit.
Yeah.
This is almost a non-character in this movie, and whatever his story arc is, it's highly predictable. It's just really hard to also go in. I mean, I can understand. First of all, I could have done that villain a lot better, but it's hard to top Syndrome, who was voiced by Jason Lee in the first movie. The sidekick who becomes a villain. Mm-hmm. And they didn't even try to keep that a big secret. It happened like kind of in the middle of the movie.
Sure. But outside of him being a great villain, he was also a statement. I mean, there was so much, not even satirical, just making a statement about fans in general. And in fact, that whole movie had so much of that woven into it over and over. And this doesn't quite do that.
I think it's safe to say that they talk about toxic fandom right now. Mm-hmm. The Incredibles said, we tried to tell y'all. They're assholes.
We warned y'all 14 years ago.
Yeah, man. This is when it was cool to be a fanboy, not a fangirl, because even it was sexist back then. They were like, nah, man. And the Incredibles tried to say, this guy's an asshole, and the rest of them are coming.
This movie, it's good and it's fun. It's just not. It's not incredible. It's it's. I wish it was the first one, but there's just so many places where it's just not there. One thing for me that really stood out was how I didn't like the kids in this one.
Okay.
They're bratty and
Teenagers.
Well, yeah, one's a teenager and one's hyperactive, but. Man, they talk back to their parents. I was just so like, boy, they made me glad the mom is gone and the dad is white. Because I was just, there's so many times my eyebrows were raising up and I was like, are you sure you're going to talk to me like that?
Frozone didn't come over and say that? Yeah. Handle your kids.
You know what? Frozone doesn't have kids. That's the only reason that he wasn't able to say it.
You know, this is the Incredibles, so they're incredibly white. You know what I'm saying? So, because dad could take care of that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, but no, they sit back and they just like, all right, you know, I'm tired.
Yeah. Oh, honey, don't be that way. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know something?
What? All vegetables. Yeah, you're going to eat them too, goddammit.
Even if it's a notch below the first film, it's still fucking amazing. I love this, Martin. This is where I'm going to be Vin Diesel. You're going to be Paul Walker. This is where we look at each other. Bye.
Hey, man, I liked it. I thought it was real good, but I couldn't fall in love with it.
I am in love with this movie. And you know what? Look. I see Martin's. I know. I know. I'm talking about it. Just making, ooh, just shit.
When that caffeine wears off tomorrow, you'll be like, wait, what did I say?
Let me tell you why I love this movie right here. You know what? So much so that there's so many things in this movie that I am in love with that it makes up for a weaker villain. First of all, the dialogue in this movie here, man, I really enjoyed. These are cartoons, and they sound more like real people than real people do. You know, this is great dialogue because it's not always so clever that it brings attention to itself. It feels natural to where, I mean, this is an animated film. If you've seen behind the scenes of animated movies, then you know that a lot of actors, they do their lines in a booth by themselves. It feels like people are acting with each other. It almost feels like, I don't know if they did. I mean, they got some great people to come in here and do these roles, but it almost feels, you wonder, like, were there two people in the same booth acting off each other? You know, it's just dialogue it feels mature too. Like I said, it's not something where it feels like they're being so clever, Quentin Tarantino or something like that, where it's like, okay, this is awesome. It's respectable, but no, this feels like a real family, and that's why I think The Incredibles has done so well for itself, because the family dynamic has made itself feel so natural too. And I would say, and for me, I'll tell you why. Because you have, first of all, two leads that really sell this dialogue. One of them being Holly Hunter. For me, she nails this, man.
Sure.
Because not Holly Hunter, you know, she got that southern twang.
Yeah.
You know, she's kind of like old country ass sheriff. She always talks like her.
She always sounds a little drunk.
She does.
Or like she had a stroke.
Yeah,
that's a little bit of.
No, you know what?
Going on?
I didn't want to say that mouth stays on the side of her face. She's almost like a white female Sammy Davis Jr. Yeah, cat. You know, it's Holly Hunter. She is from the South. I think she's from Georgia.
I think so.
Because every time I hear her, I always like picture some straw coming out the side of her mouth.
Yeah.
Or she sounds like a female, or like Owen Wilson. She's like, and there's the moment in the movie she even goes like, oh wow, you know, and it's like, damn, you know, it is something about her where her voice and another actor in here, it is they're everything but superhero. You know, they sound like people who would not sound as heroic in another movie where they want their superheroes to sound like that. She sounds like a real person, even when she's doing amazing things.
A new elasticycle.
Elasticycle?
Oh, yeah.
You know? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. That wasn't even like a female Owen Wilson. That was Owen Wilson.
What's that mean?
And there goes that ass.
Just for you, Coleman.
Oh, my God. I had to stop it right there. It looks so good in that super suit. I mean, it looks so good. She ain't even got no ass crack. And it still looks good. Yeah, man, that super suit right there. She looks like. I'm sorry.
Hey, y'all can laugh all you want.
You can laugh at. Hey, ain't a goddamn thing funny about this. I'm serious as hell. I'm sorry. Shit just sticking out. Even she's like, look at that. She's like, damn, I got some ass on me. Even Mr. the Dr. Incredible, whatever his name is, he can't take that shit. I'm sorry. I'm a little out there right now.
You call him Mr. Fantastic and Dr. Incredible.
Even he can't take that shit. Oh my God. And you know what? I will even say the animators are so amazing with their job here. There are moments where if you look at her, they even animated her to where it kind of. That's how good Holly Hunter's voice is. It is prime for animators, man, because her voice has so much personality, it's so distinct, and the animators can work with that so well, especially expressions. Look at the way her mouth goes to the side of her face. That's the Holly Hunter thing, man. They took it straight from the actress. But I'm talking about performances right now. How did you feel about those?
Performances are fine. They're all great. Everybody nails their part like they did 14 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that goes for Craig T. Nelson too. Craig T. Nelson in this movie, his role in the movie, he just sounds exhausted, man. It's almost like they got him drunk to come in and do this because but that works. Because, if you didn't get the gist of the story, it takes place right after the last movie. Superheroes, if you remember the last film, I mean, a little bit of a spoiler, but, it's 14 years, fuck you. It's like, what can I say? Superheroes were causing so much collateral. Again, way ahead of the Avengers.
Sure.
And they were outlawed. They were put under government scrutiny. And with this, it's kind of picking up the same thing here to the point where now they're getting superheroes to go out and try to market themselves to make them to make themselves appear better. It's a public, PR thing, PR thing, public relations thing. They got to look better for the public in order to get back in their good graces and bring superheroes back out in the open, saving the world again. The twist here is that for that first PR push, they wanted Elastigirl. Mm-hmm. They told Mr. Incredible, we don't want your old ass out there. Let the woman do it. She's sexy as hell. And he stays at home. And what I love about that is that in his role in the movie, he really is tired, man. He is exhausted. Jack, the little baby, is wearing that ass out. And while it's played for laughs, you really do start getting worried for Mr. Incredible because, this is where I think when I was looking at the trailer and they were talking, we talked about that whole thing of dad staying at home. It's a Mr. Mom thing. They always do that thing where dad, mom goes to work, dad stays at home, and dad is like, oh, what do I do with this food? I don't know how to cook. What do I do when the baby shits on himself? They don't do that here. At least not in my opinion.
I thought they did a little bit. I honestly, that was one of the things that kept me from loving it, is that they do what you're talking about, but there's still a lot of going through the cliche motions of things. And I was like, man, there's so many things they could pick up on that are subtle or that people don't think about that they're leaving on the table. And I felt like before they wouldn't have. Jack is like somebody having a special needs kid, and that's where it's a bit more realistic.
Yeah, exactly. The thing that I found nice with this, because I was looking at some of the small things too, because dad can cook. Dad doesn't know how to do homework, so he tries to actually learn the homework for his kids. It's not like he's just, it's just that's done for a gag. He's doing everything right. The only thing, he's not playing the dumb dad. But that goddamn Jack, man, this is a guy where the whole thing that separates this from the usual storyline of dad being at home is that, like you said, it's a special needs kid, but it's a dangerous special needs kid. Yeah. Jack in the movie, it's not that he's just discovering these new abilities, these new superpowers, but they're getting weirder and weirder. They're getting downright creepy in some parts.
What the?
Cookie.
Oh my God!
Cookie.
He can still hear you
From the other dimension.
Yeah. Frozen was like, motherfucker!
Yeah, I wonder how many takes he actually said it on. Man, this is Disney. You can't do that. Well, just cut it. Shit. Yeah.
Your motherfucking baby's motherfucking weird. I love the way Frozone is just kind of like, your baby's a freak and I don't like it. You're like, you need to do something with him.
He did stop just short of saying that.
Yeah, no, he really did, man. And that's that's the thing that I really love about Jack is that Jack is he's like I said, he's downright, he's dangerous, and sometimes he does things that are so weird, man. Because you look at him, it's not only that. We're not going to tell you what else he does, but he just keeps finding one power after another to the point where it's just kind of like, you got to do something with this baby.
Yeah.
Because this baby's going to end up killing a bunch of people at some point. That's just the way it's going to be. Do you think Jack Jack's in the room right now?
Sorry, that baby giggles. Where you at, Jack? That was Jack Jack.
Somebody was making noise back there. I'm like, what the fuck? Jack is a literal demon, as you said. Jack, he's practically almost the Antichrist, man. He turns into a demon.
Yeah.
At some point, the Incredibles, if they keep this kid around, they're gonna have to
fight him.
That'd be so dope.
I can tell you exactly what's gonna happen with this baby right here. This baby's gonna end up being put in a cage somewhere because he's too dangerous, and he's gonna end up resenting his family because you didn't protect me. Mm-hmm. And he's going to end up turning his powers on all of mankind, and they're going to have to end up killing Jack. That's just the way it's going to have to be.
It's kind of inevitable when you think about it.
But until then, he's adorable.
He's adorable.
It's already on the slant of more of an adult movie. And I'm not saying an adult movie where it's like, they got stuff that's going to be offensive to kids. Kids can't watch it. It's just kind of, for me, so smart that it's leaning on more of an adult side of writing.
You can't walk that back. Once you do that, that changes everything, and you can't come back to where you were.
Good. That'll make them stop at the third one. At the end, they should just be holding Jack's head.
I'm so sorry.
Jack!
To the bottom of a giant blackened crater that he's left.
They start playing that wacky music for the end. And because, again, it comes down to the voice work. There's so many other voices in here that have great dialogue. Jonathan Banks. I'm not going to tell you who these people are. You just have to see them. Jonathan Banks, Isabella Rossellini. Damn, Jonathan Banks, like he has the Infinity Gauntlet right now. They do some great voice work in there. There's a lot of other people, of course.
Bob Odenkirk.
Catherine
Keener.
We heard Samuel Jackson in here. He's having fun. I would say that Samuel Jackson, he's just going to be Samuel Jackson.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he's like, that's why I get paid, motherfucker. Just be me.
You know who you hired.
Yeah. Well, Martin, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Maybe for you, story-wise, it was not as good, but what do you think about the look of the movie?
Well, I think it looks good, like the first one did. Yeah, it's timeless. Like some of the people dress like they're on the set of Leave It to Beaver. So it doesn't have a particular time period that it's in.
See, that's the thing, man. It does, and that's why I love the style in this movie. This is and Martin is right. This is a style that sticks to his theme very well because it is a period piece. A lot of people don't know that, and I think that's why, again, this is so smart. I was curious as to, is this an alternate reality? Is this a period piece? Turns out it is a period piece, but a very subtle period piece. They drop very small clues as to what year this is. We're looking at a still here where Mr. Incredible, Bob is his name, Bob Parr, is looking at a newspaper, the Metroville Tribune. Very tiny, almost blurred. You can see that it says 1962. No one's going to get it, but it is. It's an alternate world, 1962, because it's a superhero movie, so the gadgets throw people off.
Yeah, that's some hellified technology for 1962.
But again, it's like James Bond 1962. They predict certain technology and they apply it to the present time and they adapt it to the theme and the aesthetic of that time. There are things you don't see. You don't see people with cell phones. You don't see people with modern cars, but you're just thinking that's a modern. I mean, that's a stylish thing, sort of like Batman.
The Batman animated series.
Yeah, Gotham looks like it's present time, but they keep that 30s aesthetic to it.
The Art Deco.
Yeah, here they show you some technology that looks modern, like. There's a futuristic motorcycle there. But then again, that's for superheroes at the time, just like James Bond got gadgets that that were ahead of its time.
Well, see, that's like in the first one, I always kind of noticed they always had the tube televisions, and some of them would be either black and white or some of them would be in color. So it's like, all right, we're in that transitional period, so you can kind of nail down when the year is there.
Yeah, and that's what they do here. Like they got computers that are in here, and they there's computers that look old, but they can do things that computers couldn't do at the time. There's but when you look at the city is definitely they're using old cameras, they're using old projection technology, but then you see a monitor that has new stuff on there. It's supposed to be just these secret organizations that just have more technology that the rest of the public doesn't know about, but it's still a period piece, and I love it because they don't drop these heavy clues to people to say, hey, look, it's 1960, whatever. It's, they leave it to you to find out at some point, but it definitely does have a period. And furthermore, with that is the score in this, which is another thing that kind of gives hint to it being a period piece, because it's like I love this composer here, Michael Giacchino. He's a very versatile composer. Does a lot of stuff. He does I'll play you a little bit of it here. You can hear sort of that 60s spy adventure theme going on. And but there are other moments where it's a little more subtle, right? Ain't blasting them horns.
It's all horns and bass guitar.
Shut the fuck up! But he's the one that had me crying for those apes, man. He does. So he did the. Well, the apes had something to do with it too. But he did the score for War for the Planet of the Apes. He does a lot of things, but he's a very versatile director, man. I look at some of the kids and what they have them doing here, and I do think that they are underwritten in a way. I agree with you on Dash, not to the point that I didn't like him. Dash doesn't have anything to do but be the kind of annoying little brother to his big sister, kind of crack a joke, be a smart ass. I didn't find myself hating Dash. I just thought that Dash was, look, Dash is the middle kid. He's a typical middle kid, gets overlooked, I think, in a way. I did not hate him in the movie. He didn't bother me.
But it was also because he was underwritten. There wasn't more to him than that. And then he never got that really cool action sequence.
I disagree on that too, man. First of all, that action scene that we saw right there,
dude. The first one he ran on water. That was amazing. That was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, like I told you, man. This movie takes place. There's something. I mean, if nothing else, the action in this movie, I think, is it's just over the top creative.
No, yeah, creative. What I mean, you go like, well, why would a character who can stretch need a motorcycle? And then when you see what they were able to do with her with that motorcycle, you're like, shit, all y'all should have motorcycles.
Oh yeah, because this movie, as I said, it picks up right where the last one left off, and that's when the Underminer came in, and it's an amazing scene, man. At the beginning, except for like a short pause, our very short intro. A calm little intro at the beginning of the movie, they jump right into the action. And they introduce more superheroes in the movie, and you get to see at some point all of them use their powers together, sometimes fighting each other. And you could tell how much planning went into this. It wasn't like a Michael Bay thing where just throw shit on the screen, make it explode.
Just blow stuff up.
Shut up.
That portal thing looks cool as hell to Dash.
They play with that a lot. Okay. Look, it's nothing new, but the way they do it in here, they put a lot of thought into it. Mm-hmm. And they do it. I mean, some of these powers are cool. Some of them are just weird. It really is a weird movie when you get right down to it too. But it looks good. But there's so much going on here. You do overlook certain characters like Dash, and that's one of my complaints, that this guy doesn't get enough attention. But he didn't annoy me, and I understood. Dash is going to be all right. If they make another movie, Dash, that's when you focus on Dash, because right now, Violet, Violet's having a period. She's getting a little crazy.
Is she having adolescence?
Yes, she is, very much so, and that's why I think that it was so much going on in the movie. Violet was the one that had to get a lot of the attention because, well, it just made sense that she's at that age right now where she's going through the most changes, and therefore it serves the story better.
See, I feel like that's so easy. I mean, especially you You're a guy. You've never been a woman. Your sister was much older than you. You haven't had any daughters in your house to know that it ain't all that. And that's an easy card to play. You go like, oh, on a period, I know what's going on. It's like, dude, it ain't that.
You know what she's going through. They're not going to say it, and this is what I liked about it. But I'm saying I'm not making some like some sexist joke when I say she's on a period. That is one of the things I like about the writing in this movie. Her being upset about her superpowers. She's just not beginning to get into boys. It is sort of a metaphor for her going through body changes, man. She doesn't like being, and I love that story. That's why I thought it was smart. She does not, somebody had to hate this life, and she hates it because it's interfering with her trying to be a normal person. I thought her subplot was very intelligent. I loved it. I
did not.
Okay.
I felt like it was too much, and it relied on the easy fix.
See, these kids, I understood them. Like that thing at the dinner table. Kids mouth off sometimes. Yeah, I've seen other movies where kids just pretty much say, fuck you, Dad. But all Dash was saying like vegetables. That's it. I mean, look.
That's not what he said.
He said, he said vegetables. Who ordered vegetables? It's a legit question.
He merely inquired.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it vegetables again, Mother?
Yeah. Kids are like that. As much as I got smacked by my parents, I got away with at least being kind of like that as a kid. I will say that they do kind of a cool twist with it in this film. They do touch on that a little bit. It doesn't go where you think. And I think it's something that will catch a lot of people by surprise, even people who are complaining about it. Near the end, you'll be like, okay, well, they did something kind of clever with it. And listen, God damn, man, look now, listen, I've been fair with you. I've been trying to work with you.
See, I feel like Dash now because like my parents are fighting.
Now, God damn it, you're just messing with me. Okay, obviously, we're not going to agree on this. I absolutely love this film. I'm not going to try to compare it to some other superhero movies out there. I will say it's my favorite superhero movie this year, except for maybe in Infinity War, because that is just something that's just kind of different. But even then, I think that this is a movie being like even for a sequel, being a self-contained film. I'm just like, I just kind of had a bad experience with this movie, man.
So you're snubbing Black Panther, eh?
Well, shit, except for that Panther, man.
Yeah. You keep saying that, and we remind you that Black Panther came out this year. You're like, all right, let me reel it back.
I'll tell you, I'm on caffeine. I got short memory. It's written very maturely, and it just happens to be in the category of a family film. I appreciated everything about this movie, even the shortcomings that it has. I was able to kind of let that go. This is a very high full price, on the edge of Better Than Sex for me.
Honestly, the big reveal was something that I figured out way early on.
No, that's a problem in the movie.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying about the villain. The villain's nothing, man. Because it's a predictable trajectory.
Right, like when you said like, oh, what they do is clever. I was like, not really, because normally, because I'm not even trying to figure things out. I just like to let it wash over me, and it was just so like, oh my God, it's so obvious. Can we just get to it already? In the beginning, the commentary on the destructions that superheroes cause, I was kind of like, y'all are doing stuff that already kind of got covered in Civil War already.
But in the first movie, they kind of initiated that first. So I can give it to this film.
Sure, but now it's time to like, okay, it's been said, now move on to something else. And also, not the supporting characters we've been talking about here, but those other superheroes they brought in, I thought, man, y'all didn't put a lot of thought into these guys. They're like rejects from the Venture Brothers. Now, it's only in as much as where the first Incredibles is a clear Better Than Sex for me, this one is a low full price.
A low full price. I know this, man. You were messing with a matinee earlier, weren't you? At some point.
I kind of was, but I thought about it some more.
See, I saw him across. Look, I said I don't want to. I said I don't want to be creepy, but I was being creepy. Because I want, when I love a movie, I just stand outside and just spy on people. I was standing behind a corner.
You hide behind a tree. With your binoculars, you're like Bullwinkle.
just looking at Martin. I shouldn't have done it, but I just sitting up there just looking at Martin. I saw him. He had his hand in his pockets, and every now and then he makes that face with like. So I said, God damn it, I knew it.
More knowledge, did you?
Yeah. I study you, Mark.